Hi everybody, welcome to TDG Presents Theme Thursday, talking about the Clifton StrengthsFinder theme of Includer. Now, people with Includer is one of the relational themes. I always say it's the cousin of empathy. Now if you remember from a while back, empathy is an emotional thermometer. So we talk about how the fact that with empathy, when you put a person with empathy in a room with other people, they instantly start to reflect the emotional temperature of those they're interacting with. If empathy is an emotional thermometer, then Includer is an emotional thermostat. What's the difference? A thermometer simply reflects temperature. A thermostat reflects the temperature and then must do something to alter it. So empathy might see the child sitting alone in the lunchroom and say, when they're in 8th grade, and say, oh gosh, that little kid's feeling so sad, they're all alone. And they start to feel sad. Includer says, that little kid is feeling sad, I have to go get that little kid. And so they get up, they go get the little kid from the table, they bring them over to their table. In fact, I said this at United Way Dallas last week. I said, people with Includer, you're the type who comes home and you're like, you know what, your wife or husband says to you, could you please just stop bringing home strays? Because for Includer is like an emotional lint roller. Think about a lint roller, those things your grandparents always had that would kind of pick the lint off your clothes. An emotional lint roller think of a lint roller, as it rolls over things stick to it. Well, with Includer, as you pass people by, even fringy people you don't know that well, strangers, people on the outside, you just kind of naturally pick them up. They kind of stick with you and then you want to bring them home. Includers, they're all about the word itself, so it has a little bit of it in there. The root word Includer is to include. And so Includers are really interested in helping others to feel a part of. Includers speak the voice of the marginalized. Now this is mostly about people. They can instantly tell who's being left out when you're doing a group presentation. I always laugh because Includers are the ones who know who's sitting outside the circle, and it kind of bugs them until everyone's inside the circle. But when it comes to information, Includer has a gift for the margins. And so a group will say, wow, we got 85% participation. But Includer will often say, but who is speaking up for the 15%? And so you have this dichotomy. In fact, Includers, you may find a lot of times you feel like you're on the outside, and no matter what you say, you can't seem to get into the inside of the group. But I would also tell you, Includers, that is actually part of how your theme works. Includers often identify as an outsider. And I've had teams say, this person keeps saying that they're the outside, but no matter what we do, we can't convince them that they actually are core to the group. Part of that is because Includers, you don't know who you are if you're not actually in the center of it. If you don't know who you are if you actually were in the center. You may have, over the course of your life, felt like you've been an outsider, and so to suddenly be on the inside isn't a natural feeling. And so you continue speaking the voice of the marginalized even though you yourself are not. Includers draw people in. They know how to make people feel welcomed. They know how to make people feel like they can belong. What's interesting is I've had Includers tell me though, that the more they reach for people on the fringe, the more mainstream those people get, the more they get center of the group, the less they're interested. Why? Because Includers will pivot out. And so what's funny is you may know somebody who's an Includer who invites you to an event, let's say a community group or something small in your community at your office. And because you don't know anyone, they naturally kind of stick by your side and introduce you to everybody. But over time, the more you get known, they actually talk to you less because they go in search of new people. Again, they're not trying to leave you behind, they just want others to feel included. And so the gift of Includer is to be able to see the margins. They bring people in from the outside. They make us feel emotion like we care about. They want us to actually be engaged and feel like we're understood. Similar in many ways to empathy. Now, through the TDG lens of communication, decision-making, and self-management. When it comes to expression, you want to talk about people's feelings, you want to prioritize relationships, and you want to talk about drawing others in. That's what they're listening for. When it comes to solutions, you want to make sure that you're speaking, if you do have to deal in majorities, express and build into your plan a plan to deal with those on the margin of the fringe. The more you can incorporate their needs, the more likely Includers to feel like it's a comprehensive plan. When it comes to feeling self-management and self-care, Includers, your ability to make a new friend, your ability to interact with strangers, your ability to draw others in, it's going to be life-giving for you. Also, quality time for yourself with people that you feel love you and do get you, that could be life-giving as well. But when you're able to bring others in, that's recharging, and like a strength that makes you feel strong, that's going to be good use for you. So, that is the Clifton strength of Includer. Are you gonna actually apply it today? Reach out for someone on the margins, reach out for someone on the fringe. If you think you're leaving somebody out and you don't have Includer, find somebody with Includer. They'll help point you in the direction of those who need to be drawn in. Hope you're having a great week. Whatever you do, take care of yourself. Look forward to talking to you again real soon. Lead courageously.